What's going on, Dope fam? Back with another video. Hope you guys have been doing well. Sorry for yesterday. I didn't do an upload yesterday, as you guys already know. But to be honest, I probably should take more days off because Bitcoin had a massive green candle yesterday. Absolutely massive, and clearly invalidating my base cases, which was having a higher low put in. So I'm going to delete that for now. And as you guys can see, we just ripped past resistance, and now we're sitting at 102, pretty much like, what is it? About 6% away from all-time highs. And I have some charts to update to you guys because it's looking really good. And when it comes to alt seasons, it's looking like we're getting closer to an alt season, and I will definitely relay it to you guys why that is the case. But first of all, my name is Dope Oxide. I make content on YouTube, X, and CoinMarketCap, so be sure to follow those pages. There isn't really a base chain coin update today. I'm not going to be doing a coin today because there is a lot to go through when it comes to Bitcoin and Ethereum. But let's get right into it. So first of all, for Bitcoin, we had a really good pump today. And when it comes to that, it seemed pretty obvious in hindsight because we had a clear retest of the 93.2k region, which I told you guys, look, we're gonna have to retest that. And my base case was actually cracking down below because it was a pretty significant level, and it looks like we just retested as support, and we had a massive uprising from that. So when it comes to current stance and where I think we go, to be honest, right now I wouldn't be trading at these levels. Main reason is let's let the price action develop, but it's looking like the case is right now it's a lockout rally, and lockout rallies tend to punish the bears and the people that were offside. And I did mention this case to potentially happen, but it wasn't my likely stance. Hence why I thought we would have a higher low. This price action is probably the most entertaining outcome because a lot of people that were offside or shorting markets got absolutely destroyed. As you can see, we had $700 million in shorts, which is massive. Like, this is probably the most we've had in at least like 6 months of now. So it's looking really good. When it comes to Bitcoin, it just seems to me we're gonna hit all-time high in May. I did expect like end of May to be really like a really good month. But it's looking like it's happening earlier, and let's see where it goes. Obviously my base case has been invalidated, so ideally what happens from here is we just crack on to new all-time highs and have that explosive parabolic run. When it comes to total coin market cap, same thing. My base cases was to have a higher low, but obviously with Bitcoin breaking out, that is not the case. So I'm going to delete those arbitrary lines, and it looks like we're hitting major resistance right now. So when it comes to total coin market cap, our major resistance right now is the 3.2 trillion area. Ideally, I would like to see this to break out, but as you guys can already see, it's looking like we're having a major resistance point there. So we might need more consolidation. Let's see where that goes. For Ethereum to Bitcoin chart, I haven't shown this chart to you guys in a fair while. This is an inverse chart of the Ethereum to Bitcoin ratio, and it's looking quite bullish to me. So obviously, when it comes to parabolic lines, you usually have four rates of ascension. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and for the first time ever, this parabolic run has actually broken down, and it tends to be parabolic runs always break down to the downside, and pretty much like more likely than not, it's most likely gonna end up happening like going down to the third trend line. And if that's the case, which is very likely now, because this parabolic line has broken, and let's just hope we get that weekly close around these levels because it just confirms this parabolic trend has broken down. And if that's the case, it suggests that Ethereum is going to be outperforming Bitcoin for the remainder of its bull cycle, and the implications of that is base tokens going to absolute rampage, and you're already seeing life getting brought back to these tokens. So Alien Base, I covered you guys multiple times, and we're back above that major accumulation range, which was the 11-cent area. Let's get a weekly close above because Alien Base is looking like it really wants to break out from here, and pretty much the next major resistance level is the 25-cent area. So when it comes to that, it's pretty much just fresh air above that, and it's looking like as long as Bitcoin keeps going up from here, Alien Base is going to hit at least 25 cents, probably within the month or so, depending on this trend. But looking really good. Like the result is, look, Ethereum to Bitcoin chart is breaking down, and every time a parabolic trend breaks down, it usually breaks down to at least a third trend line. So let's see where it goes, and hopefully we get multiple weekly confirmations of that, but a chance of an all season is looking more likely than ever. And Ethereum has actually broken above that 2200 region. So this arbitrary squiggle line I made, I think, a few weeks ago, we had that weekly trend retest at the macro trend lines. As you can see, at that 1700 level was a massive retest of this macro trend line, and we've broken out from that. Let me just delete this to make it clearer. What we would like to see is multiple weekly closes now for Ethereum to get back above that 2200 region, and it most likely confirms all this trading from March to now was all deviation, and now we can head up back into the range highs again, and let's see if we can get that breakouts in the next few months. Looking very bullish for Ethereum, but let's get that weekly closes above that 2200 key level, and we can expect base coins to absolutely boom. Once again, for liquidations, massive short liquidation, 700 million, which is really good to see. Let's punish those bears. For the liquidation heat map, nothing to really note of. There hasn't been too many wars being created, but when it comes to the the long short ratio, it's pretty crazy. So obviously yesterday I didn't make a video, but if I was to make a video yesterday, I would have said, look, we actually made a lower low on the long short ratio, and people were actually giga shorting the breakout, and obviously with that, that turned out to be a short squeeze to the upside, and looking very bullish because it's still actually pretty much at the previous range low for the long short ratio. So bears are still in shambles, and they're still actually shorting where Bitcoin is currently right now. So which is pretty funny, because if we actually look back where our long short ratio was back at the last time Bitcoin was at all-time highs, look at the difference. Like when Bitcoin was at all-time highs, the long short ratio was more than pretty much like triple where it was now. So really good to see. And just for clarifications, if you guys don't know what the long short ratio is, as you guys can see, past 1 day, only 46% of perp traders are actually longing the market, and 53.6% are shorting. And ideally, you have an equilibrium where longs and shorts are a 50% ratio. So any difference from that is a major offside to the markets, and it just clearly shows to me that the majority are still bearish on Bitcoin, even though it's only 6% away from all-time high. So really good to see that people are still bearish, even though we're so close to all-time high. Like, to me, it's looking like we're probably going to break out all-time high this month. And our base case was always made to be a green month, but it's looking like it's actually a more bullish month than I thought, and maybe I wasn't bullish enough. But it's looking great, because this just comes as a result where Ethereum is going to start breaking out. Looks like Ethereum Bitcoin parabolic ascension is actually breaking down. This is the inverse chart, of course, and this just shows to me that, look, base chain tokens are going to absolutely boom, and the crypto markets in general are going to boom. Next up is just updates in general. So Jesse tweeted that the Ethereum upgrade that we actually had a few days ago, called Pectra, actually increased 2x the blob capacity, which is basically L2 chains consolidating their transactions into blobs. Every wallet becomes smart and has been a flawless upgrade. So the ramifications of this is basically L2s are going to get more adopted as there is more capacity to have more transactions on the chain. Therefore, base chain will probably be able to acquire more users, more activity, and can handle that transaction count. So really bullish for base in general, because this upgrade around Ethereum definitely helps the L2 chains. When it comes to tweets by Simca, so first one's by Simca. As you can see, we had that really nice retrace and retest of that 93.6k region, which is good to see. And his chart was saying uber bullish above here. Obviously, we're above 100k now, so it's looking like we're really going to break out from here. Next tweet's by Simca once again. So this chart is actually, I believe it's so it's Bitcoin and the total coin market cap. As you can see, we were actually accumulating on a downtrend, which is really bullish to see, because it just shows that there is selling exhaustion now. We had a perfect retest for the total coin market cap, and I think we're back above like the 300 bill region. So it's looking like all around we're going to see a lot of all-time highs being broken during the remainder of May. So really good to see. Tweet from CryptoSkull. So this is based on the Pectra upgrade. The burning of Ethereum has actually significantly increased. So we're probably going to see more narratives come up, because obviously price creates a narrative. And most likely, if Ethereum keeps trending up from here, people are going to really be saying, oh, Ethereum's going up because of the deflationary bit of it. And this Pectra upgrade is probably most likely the catalyst for that. So looking really bullish for Ethereum. And I'm going to expect and going to say it to you guys, look, with the Ethereum Bitcoin chart breaking down to the downside for the parabolic ascension on the inverse chart, more likely the Ethereum is probably going to have massive narratives backing it very soon. And you're going to see a lot of narratives around Ethereum picking back up. And most likely you're going to see NFTs popping up, base chain coins hitting the billions range, etc. So it's looking really good for Ethereum to be breaking out. And of course, because of that, all season will happen. Next tweet is by Asemka once again. As you can see for Bitcoin, it's looking like we're going to have a massive continuation for the remainder of like probably these next 3 to 5 months or so. And it's just lining up for a massive run from here. Of course, once again, my base case for the next few months has always been a doubling from our low. So it's obviously confirmed that 75k was the low for this last leg up. And most likely we're going to have a doubling from here. So our base case is a doubling from that low, which is around the 150k region. So give or take, the next leg up peak to the upside is probably going to be anywhere from 140k to 160k. And when it comes to anywhere past that, let's just see where it goes and where the price consolidates, because my base case has been this leg up is the final leg to the bull cycle. We can't really guess that far, but it's looking really like we're probably going to break all-time high this month, and then the next few months we're definitely going to hit the 150k region or so. Of course, none of this is financial advice. This is all my opinion. I'm just relaying the charts to you guys, but it's looking quite bullish. I'm getting pretty excited, and I'm sure you guys are as well. Last tweet is by Super Bitcoin Bro. So if Bitcoin leaves this fair gap value unfilled, then this leg up is likely to reach new all-time highs. Obviously, it's looking like it's to the case because we actually never retested this region here, which I at least expected that 89k would also be retested, but we never got that. So it's looking like the scenario is going to play out where all of these previous scenarios had massive leg ups to the upside because there was no fair gap value being retested. So in that case, it's looking like we're probably going to have another all-time high very soon. This leg up to the upside is going to be massive and explosive. Quick little update, I guess, because I already have the chart open. Alien Base, it's back above the accumulation range. So looking very bullish for Alien Base. And of course, other tokens. I think KeyCat was breaking out as well. Let me get KeyCat up. I think KeyCat had a really good green day. So it's up 8%. Same with Miggles. I think Miggles is up quite a lot. So yeah, there's a lot of tokens getting like just breaking out generally and just slowly making higher highs and higher lows. So actually, yeah, so good update for Miggles. Like we broke out from that accumulation range, which I was waiting for. So I'll probably do an update on Miggles soon. But yeah, so we had that confirmation. Let's get a weekly close above the accumulation range, and most likely that arbitrary squiggle line I made a few weeks back will turn out true. But looking really good, very bullish markets. Sorry for not making yesterday's video. I was really busy and I couldn't do that. But nonetheless, like and subscribe. Comment down below if you guys want me to cover any other base native coins. I do generally daily base native coin coverages. There wasn't one today because there was just too much to talk about. But the recap is Bitcoin's looking explosive. Ethereum might just initiate the start of an alt season. And base native coins are already reigniting their life. And most likely will be like on its way to all-time highs very quickly. So that's all to the video, guys. Peace.